So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Perez, Stroll, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Verstappen, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen, Albon, Sargent, Button, Bottas, the owner driver, Joe, Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, the regulations aren't new anymore, but the teams and the drivers are still coming to terms with them. I firmly believe it's also track specific. We've seen some wheel-to-wheel racing throughout the year. Some tracks lend themselves better to it than others. I'd like to see it at every race in the whole season. Is that too much to ask?
Not at all, Natalie, not at all. Hello everybody and welcome back to my Equal Car 100% Championship. We're now at round 3 in Canada. We are leading the standings coming into this race, but our championship rival is also at a bit of a disadvantage because he is starting the sprint from 8th, whereas we got Leclerc and Hamilton on the front row. Is this the race where some new drivers mark their intentions on this title? Who knows? It's round 3 out of 13, and here we go then. We are gonna get this race underway. We're starting 19th. How far up can we make it? We're all on medium tyres for the sprint. What is going to unfold in these 23 laps? It is go here in Canada. We've got an okayish start, but everyone around us seems to also be away quite well. I've got ahead of one of the Alfa Romeos. I'm going in tight into the first corner, and Bottas has gone around the outside. I'm trying to make some room for myself, but Jenson Button has placed his car really well, and in fact he's moving up a couple of positions. I've got Alex Albon closing in on me there. I was going to try and go around the outside, but that gap closed in pretty fast. So we have moved up one position, but it's only to P18, and Jenson Button has also moved up a place as well. So it's a decent start for both of us, but as we go into this race, obviously I would have liked to maybe have grabbed another position off the start, but it's all cool. It's all good. We got 22 more laps in which we can move ourselves up. First things first though, Alex Albon, whoa, a bit wobbly there, whoa! And someone's gone into me. We've got a drama at the hairpin as well. Who's gone round at the hairpin? Oh, we've got a red flag. We've got a red flag. I'm not quite sure of everything that happened there. I was very unsettled going towards the hairpin, and Valtteri Bottas, I think, slammed into me. And, well, I don't fully know what happened there. I'll have to look into that. But we're about to get going again. 20 more laps to do with this sprint, and we are underway for a second time. And well, I've got blocked straight in behind Gasly. There's cars on my outside, one of them being Logan Sargent. But this time I've got more space to use around the outside. And I've got the hat of Kevin Magnussen trying to make a move. Magnussen has made a move. So we've had the first red flag of this season. And I think I caused it. I don't know how Bottas ended up where he was. But I got very unsettled heading towards the hairpin. I think I hit the grass, it made me unsettled. I jammed on the brakes to stop a crash, and Bottas went into me, and that moved down the inside of Gasly. Wow, that was bold, that was brave from the Alpine driver. Gasly is not waiting around. I've even got another car on the outside, but now I'm coming back at Pierre Gasly. though I think maybe I'm just a little too tight in there to make that work, and it was Logan Sargent who was getting interested in having a go on me there. So Sargent having a go. I'm now gone to attack Gasly. He's gone defensive. I'm going to sweep round the outside, and that is the position gain. Charles Leclerc carries on his lead meanwhile, and he is going quite well here. He's had a tough start to the season so far, but is this where it picks up for him in this Canadian Grand Prix race weekend? Well, first things first, he's got to get to the end of the sprint, and there's still 20 laps left of the sprint to do. Closing in on Kevin Magnussen now. Currently running in P14, so we have gained 5 places so far. And we're gaining at quite a decent rate. We have one retirement then, and that is Valtteri Bottas, who smashed into the rear of my car. And I think maybe I've got a little bit of damage on the rear, and I try not to hit Kevin Magnussen as well. The last thing I want to do is hit him. Right, down the straight. Are we going to be able to pass Magnussen? I think this should be a done deal here. Using all the space we had, which was literally just enough to fit the width of a Formula 1 car. And that's worked for us. And Lando Norris sets the fastest lap of this sprint race. And no, he doesn't, because we've just set the fastest lap of the sprint race. And DRS is now enabled. So this is where it gets interesting. DRS enabled. It's lap 5 out of 23. And we are chasing down Nico Hülkenberg for P12. Having gained from the start. We were P19 at the start, don't forget. And now we're up into P13. So we have made gains. Who is where at the moment, though, in this race? That's what I want to know. I know Lando Norris is close to the front. Charles Leclerc, I think, at the present moment is leading. I think he's got Lewis Hamilton right behind him. And then there's a gap to one of the Red Bulls, which I believe is Sergio Perez, because Verstappen is starting lower down. And I tell you what, we're not as close to Hülkenberg as I thought I'd be going down this straight. And Hülkenberg is actually closer to Ocon. So is Hülkenberg going to be able to get the run there? Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race. It's a 1:14.3. We're about to set, well, not a fastest lap. It's a 14.1, I think Hamilton set, actually. And I think he's now setting his sights firmly on the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in front of him. Hülkenberg has made up a place on Esteban Ocon while we were talking about that. He went down the inside of turn 1, and Ocon seems to be struggling slightly. So I'm going to capitalise on that down the inside. No, Ocon holds the place. Holds the place, but we're now on the left side, and we've got it done. And Ocon's going to have a world of trouble from Kevin Magnussen now, as he tries to keep the Haas behind him. And I think the Haas has got in front. Yeah, the Haas has got in front. So we're up into P12 now. Next up is Hülkenberg, who is now chasing down Carlos Sainz. And there is a massive train of cars that are now ahead of us. And it pretty much ends with Hülkenberg. So a big battle going on there. And that's all for position. I'm not quite sure who's fronting that one. That'll be interesting to see, won't it? I think Hülkenberg now starting to drop back a little bit off Carlos Sainz. It's going to be hard to keep these soft tyres going to the end. I wanted to go on the soft tyres so I could maybe gain some positions early on in proceedings. Right now, that's not really working in my advantage as we go wide there. It's not particularly working out for me at this particular moment. And Sainz is now getting ever closer to the battling train of cars in front. I do wonder who's causing this train as we head on to lap 7 out of 23. Trying to just find an extra tenth or two on Hülkenberg. And in fact, he has now caught this train of cars and it's quite a long train. It's what we call a DRS train, where everybody has DRS, but everybody is stuck in that position. And I fear that's what we have on our hands here at Montreal. We have a bit of a DRS train, and that could slow up progress just a little bit. However, we're not lapping particularly quickly, so we've just done a 14.4, and I think our lap times are pretty much matching what those around us are doing. Gasly is only a second and a half behind me, so it's all about just trying to find that extra bit of time, and we really attacked that sector, didn't we? Really going for it here now. I want to try and get myself on the DRS here. Somebody's had a bit of a lock up in a moment on the grass. I wasn't sure who that was. Hold on the brakes. Turn right, turn left. Try and keep within the DRS, which we did do. Try not to hit Hulkenberg, which again we did, but something is backing this pack up, because we closed in on Hulkenberg quite easily, and now I think the move on Nico Hulkenberg for P12 might be on. He goes defensive, I'm going to the left, and we've got past him round the outside into P12, P11 should I say, sorry, and we're just 3 places away from points, and we have the fastest lap. But also Lando Norris is in that front battle. He's just joined the battle of Leclerc and Hamilton, and I'm going to hazard a guess that it's Lance Stroll holding this lot up in P4, and everybody is just concertinaing up together. We set a purple first sector, so clearly nothing wrong with our pace at the moment. Charging down this little straight. At the moment we are sat in P11. So we're moving forward at a reasonable pace. We're not even halfway through the sprint yet, and already we are just about on the cusp of the top 10. And I feel like we're going to get past Carlos Sainz quite easily down this straight, because again he was backed up. We've got DRS. Are we going to be able to take the Ferrari here? We're using slipstream, but Sainz has gone quite defensive. But we've gone around the outside, and we've got that one done. But I'm going to let him back through, and I'll tell you why. Because I went across the second bit of the chicane. It's only fair to let him back through, because I don't think that move was entirely legal. And we want all overtakes in this series to be legal, so gonna let him back through. But I think we're gonna set him up here for an overtake down the inside. And I think we have got him. We've got past Carlos Sainz, gained a position, and now I think he's at the mercy of Nico Hulkenberg, who's having a look at him. Hulkenberg is having a look at him, and we get a warning for exceeding track limits there, which is fair enough. Hulkenberg has moved up ahead of Carlos Sainz, and I think Russell's got clear now of Lance Stroll, and the 2 Red Bulls are now stuck behind him. It's lap 10 out of 23. Anything could still happen in this race yet. We are not even at half distance, but we are in the top 10, which is a positive sign.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
How much further up the field can we get? I'm targeting maybe 4th or 5th. I think if I can get 4th or 5th, I will be happy. We'll see how this goes though. I think someone is still backing up this little pack here, and it's making it easy on me to make some little inroads to it. But I also think Leclerc may be struggling for pace as well. Hulkenberg is also lurking in the background in P11. I'm sure he's hoping that some drama kicks off and it brings out a safety car. If there's anywhere that drama can kick off, usually Montreal is one of the circuits that just seems to breed drama. As we head down the straight, and we're looking at Oscar Piastri, 4P9, having a look down the inside there, but there's no way through. And even the way I hit the corner there, that just didn't work out for me. Is that Russell in 7th? I think that is. So I think Russell's struggling a bit. And I think Hamilton and Norris are starting to break away from Charles Leclerc. So I think Leclerc's struggling for pace a little bit. I wonder, is that tyre related? Has he used up his tyres? We know the Ferrari can be quite difficult on its tyres. We do seem to be in a bit of a stalemate at the moment as we're stuck in this DRS train. And it's all about just trying to find an extra tenth or two that'll make the difference and help us make moves. But again, they all really back up at the hairpin, and that will be enough to help us shape this up on Oscar Piastri. Lap 12 of 23. Here we go, Piastri's going defensive. This allows me to take the outside line. I haven't exactly got that right. And I'm not sure whether I was fully on the circuit or not. What does the replay tell me? Let's have a look at the replay. The replay will reveal all, should I say. So I missed the apex there. Did I have 4 wheels off the circuit? That angle doesn't show very well. Yes, I did. So I will let Oscar Piastri back through for the first corner. We'll go through then, Oscar. And now we've got more problems because Hulkenberg's trying to capitalise on that. So we once again made a mistake, and I've had to let Piastri back through. We're not having it our own way in this sprint. Normally in the sprint so far this season, we've made our way into the top 3. We're not having it our own way here. Oh! That was a tap of the barrier. Is there any damage to the car is the question. So far the answer would appear to be no. But that was a concerning little tap, and I think, and I hope, we've been able to stay in the DRS range of Piastri, but I don't think we have. So currently only in P10 in this one, and we're struggling to make our way forward. It's not happening quite as quickly, and I think the DRS train isn't helping matters at all. But we set a fastest final sector of the lap there, so setting a purple final sector just states our intent for the rest of this sprint as we try and catch Oscar Piastri. We've got a yellow flag. Lando Norris is out. What's happened to him? He's pulled up to the side. The McLaren has blown up. Oh, that's rotten luck for Lando. He was running so well. He was literally P2. And now he finds himself out of the race. And we find ourselves back on the attack of the papaya McLaren of Oscar Piastri, with 9 laps left, 10 laps left, including the one we are on. It'll be 9 laps when we cross the line, but I'm not able to get that close on this straight, so it might have to be a run into turn 1. And I tell you what, taking that corner flat out is scary. We are getting a run, but it's not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough to have a look down the inside of the McLaren just yet. But I'm starting to get impatient here. And I really want to try and find a way through past Piastri and try to get after the others. Oh, Piastri very slow round the corner there. I don't know what he was doing. Was he brake testing me maybe? I don't know, but that's put Pierre Gasly right on my tail. Oscar Piastri using some pretty sus techniques. And I'll be honest, I've got to run on him here. This might just be a dive down the inside for the hairpin. Yes, it is. And I've got that done. Piastri trying to have a look. Well, Piastri getting caught out there. And Pierre Gasly is now going to have a look at the Australian. But we move up a place. We move into the top 8. Into the points for the sprint. And Pierre Gasly is giving Oscar Piastri a little bit of grief.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.6 seconds.
So that traffic jam seems to be being held up by Leclerc. So I wonder if someone gets past Leclerc, will he just start tumbling down the field? Either way, he seems to be the one holding it all up. And I'm wondering, can I catch it? There's somebody who's locking up and clipping that grass. I'm not sure who it is, but every lap I'm noticing there's a little cloud there where somebody has kicked up the grass.
Okay.
And it's a 3-second time penalty for us.
At the end of the race, get your head down and let's get it
We've
done.
clipped that corner way too many times. And that is a 3-second time penalty, which will be added on to our sprint time. That's drama here. I've been taking liberties with the track limits, and for the first time we have ourselves a penalty. So I've really got to get on it now, and wherever I finish I've got to create a 3-second gap, which I'm not doing because Gasly is maintaining position, and also we're struggling to catch the rest of the pack in front of us. This has really not gone our way in Montreal. Dramatic scenes. Gasly still staying just about within that 1 second. If anything, it's Piastri that's dropping back now. But Gasly is maintaining his tyres well enough to stay with us as I try and catch Russell and Alonso in front. I think we'll get the 3 seconds to Piastri. I'm not sure we'll get it to Gasly. And are we going to catch the rest of the pack as well? Oh, that's not how you take that corner. And we lose a bit of time to Gasly there, but the exit we get helps us gain a 10th. But Gasly has got DRS helping him, dragging him along and keeping him with us. Piastri not with the advantage of that DRS from Gasly. And so Piastri finds himself dropping back, and we do find ourselves gaining that little bit more on the pack ahead. But with 6 laps to go, I feel like it's a bit of a tall ask to get that much closer to them, where we end up getting past. Either way, I want to make sure we got 3 seconds to anyone behind me, so that I still get a reasonable grid spot. And I think we're going to get 3 seconds to Piastri, no problem, which will really help us out, because he's got a line of cars behind him. So if we go wrong, we could end up, well, who knows where we could end up on the grid for the race, for the main 70 lap race. But yeah, we're starting to catch these guys a bit more now, and I hope they don't hold me up. I want to know who's leading this pack, because they are holding things up a bit, and they might end up holding me up as we start approaching the end of this sprint race. And I approach the wall there, getting a little bit more comfortable, closer to it than I'm comfortable with, as we now head to the end of lap 18. And Pierre Gasly, ever the tenacious driver, just sticking to me like glue, reminding me that he's still there. We have got the 3 seconds to Piastri, but we need to try and just get a little bit more so that we're a bit more comfortable. And that is a disaster for us!
Make sure you
That is an absolute disaster for us. The safety car has come out, and that, with our penalty, is catastrophic. That is the last thing we needed. So far this season it has been going my way, but that development, wow. Are there any words? Lap 19, we've got a safety car. I had the 3 seconds I needed to Piastri, but now the safety car has come out. So where are we going to finish when the safety car comes in? What drama we have here in this sprint for the Canadian Grand Prix. And if I'm not careful, I'll find myself with another penalty for speeding under the safety car. That is a disaster here. And the worst thing is that it's going to close the entire pack up. And I am going to need to hope and pray that Piastri and co really struggle behind me, because that's going to be places lost. And I need to move forward as much as I can to try and guarantee a decent spot. Oh my goodness me, that couldn't be worse for me. Put it this way, that could not be worse for me. With 3 seconds worth of penalty, I could end up anywhere in the mid-pack for the main Grand Prix. But hey, it's going to make the main race exciting, that's for sure. But wow, what a disaster to befall me right at the closing stages of this sprint race. And I was hoping that it would be drama-free till the end of the race. That has not happened. Your top three currently looks like it's Hamilton, Leclerc, Stroll. So Lance Stroll going very nicely at his home race here. But at the moment, this has turned into a disaster for us. P8 under the safety car with a 3-second time penalty. I don't think we're going to be starting the race in the top 10. But we're going to do our best and try and get ourselves into the top 10. If I can get anything higher than 12th or 13th, I'll be happy with that. So anything 12th, 13th or above, let's say 13th or above, I'll be happy with. It all depends on how this restart goes though, and if there's any drama off this restart. And you know what, I'm just going to have to get on with it and try not to spend too much time racing the guys in front of me. I'm just going to have to try and build a gap. But the problem is, I think I'm quicker than these guys in front of me, so I'm going to need to race some of them. Oh, what do we do?
Stay in position until the green flags.
Now I'm questioning, do I back this lot up behind me, give myself some free air, or do I stay close to the guys in front of me? I know that if I unnecessarily back those up behind me, it is against official F1 rules. So I think we're just going to have to try and do what we can from here. We're underway once again with 2 laps to go. It's a sprint finish here in the Canadian Grand Prix. And it starts right here, right now. And first things first, let's try and make our way past people. Piastri looks like he's isn't as close to Gasly as he is to us, which is okay. 2 laps to go, and it's an opportunity for me to try and get myself up the grid order. But first things first, I'm going to want to just try and attack Fernando Alonso and try and make something of the ending of this race. It has not gone well. There's a yellow flag in front. What is cracking off now? Somebody is slowing down. I can't see who it is. And they're backing me right up, whoever it is. I can't see it. It's Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc. He cannot buy luck in this championship so far. He has all of it and it's all bad. And Leclerc is out of the sprint. Meanwhile, I'm going for Fernando Alonso. I need to make moves. I need to get through. And I've gone past Fernando Alonso. That was a bit aggressive. But we're up into P6. Alonso hopefully will get caught up fighting Gasly. The two Red Bulls are fighting each other. And Verstappen gets up to third. Perez is fourth. Russell, carrying on that consistent form, is fifth. We're in sixth, but that's very much provisional on this last lap, as I have that penalty. And you know what? I'm just going all out here. I've got nothing to lose. I'm not going to keep this position. Oh, what drama for Leclerc, but that might help us on the grid. I'm certainly not helping myself by drifting that corner. But, wow, what a finish this is going to be. And I think Lance Stroll is up in second. So the Canadian driver in his home Grand Prix is going to finish second. What can we do about George Russell right at the end? The answer is nothing. Russell is pretty clear of us. I'm going to give it everything into the final chicane and just see if we can find anything extra. Oh, we've hit the wall of champions anyway, and we're lucky to still be in the race. That's front wing gone, but we have finished the sprint. And where did we get?
With the sprint wrapped up, we now have our
So it's a win for Lewis Hamilton. Lance Stroll gets second. Max Verstappen is third. Perez fourth. Then it's Russell. Alonso sixth. And then it's Gasly and Piastri rounding out the top 8, sorry. We get 10th, so we do start the Canadian Grand Prix in 10th. But what a grid we have for this. What a grid we have for the Canadian Grand Prix. That race was just chaos. But I want to see what happened to Bottas. So we're going to have a quick look at that. Because that just... well, I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, so my car's got unstable. I braked early and Bottas has got into me. And oh, he's claimed a couple of other cars as well there. So Bottas has hit me and then claimed a couple of other cars. Oh, I tell you what, IRL, that'd be a terrifying incident. But yeah, so I was a little bit uneasy with the car, jammed on the brakes a bit early, and Bottas got caught out and went into me there. Wow, that was a dramatic ending, wasn't it? But look at Lance Stroll up in second. You gotta be cheerful for him. And we maintain the championship lead, but Verstappen and Russell are cutting that gap down. George Russell's consistency so far is on point as he finishes in the top 5 again in the sprint. Max Verstappen doing great damage limitation there. But Lance Stroll, take a bow. He starts the Canadian Grand Prix from the front row when we do the main event. Join me for that. But until then, don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Thank you so much for watching. TTFN guys, ta-ta for now. Take care.